interests. It is an attack on the international community, the alliances and partnerships
they might already have on their hands the blood of some young soldier or that of an Afghan family.
Duty as loyal Americans to shut up and shut up publicly. We expect every American to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up. So
the guy ought to be, and I'm not for the death penalty, so if I'm not for the death penalty, the only one to do it, illegally shoot the son of a...
And if they can't do that, to shut up. So you keep your mouth shut.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Come on, fire! Yeah, roger.
The way to make government responsible is to hold it accountable. And the way to make government accountable is make it transparent so that the American people can know exactly what decisions are being made, how they're being made, and whether their interests are being well served. For a long time now, there's been too much secrecy in this city. The old rules said that if there was a defensible argument for not disclosing something to the American people, then it should not be disclosed. That era is now over. Starting today, every agency and department should know that this administration stands on the side not of those who seek to withhold information, but those who seek to make it known. But the mere fact that you have the legal power to keep something secret does not mean you should always use it.
Some countries have erected electronic barriers that prevent their people from accessing portions of the world's networks. They've expunged words, names, and phrases from search engine results. They have violated the privacy of citizens who engage in non-violent political speech. These actions contravene the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which tells us that all people have the right to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers.
Julian Assange, tried for espionage.
Oh.
Shut down Wikileaks. But get a presidential order to shut that down today. If you can't get a presidential order or the president won't sign it, go to Iceland, which hosts Wikileaks. Tell them, shut it down or else our relations are going to be damaged. Go to every other country that says we're going to host it, and you say our relations are going to be damaged. You shut this stuff down because this not only threatens American national security, hosting it.
We can just be threatening, or we can legally force them to shut it down?
Well, I don't want to wait for any legal process. I would go to them and say, Iceland, you know, how's your economy doing? You know, you've just had a lot of problems with a lot of debt in your banks. We can help you with that, or we cannot help you with that. You do not want to have the United States as an enemy. Shut this thing down.
Here's a fundamental problem. Julian Assange is a cyber terrorist in wartime. He's guilty of sabotage, espionage, crimes against humanity. He should be killed.
He is an active enemy combatant who is engaged in information warfare against the United States. What he is doing is going to have incalculable damage to this country. It is going to have a number of innocent people killed, a number of our allies killed. It's going to put Americans at risk.
They're all part of various terrorist networks that we have to shut down and we have to destroy, but they may not all be part and parcel of the same ideology.
Same thing, and our command in Afghanistan has said the same thing. Not one person has been identified as having been spat upon, much less imprisoned, because of these documents. Now, that doesn't mean that the pundits here in this country don't say it 10 times a day. Saying it 10 times a day does not make it true.
I wouldn't say a modern-day cyber hero, but certainly he's a very strong and powerful advocate for the right to freedom of speech. We've seen that this obviously is in the US Constitution, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It's the basis of the democracies in which Australians and Americans operate. And from our perspective, I think it's important to ensure that this person is not actually demonized. I do think that transparency and accountability are absolutely fundamental. I think that the space between the citizen and the government needs to be reduced. We've seen essentially, and as Glenn Beck says, that that Assange is actually the man of the millennium. Why? Because it stops governments from lying to their people. And so we've seen a whole lot of we've seen a whole lot of very, very important information, which is
like what? Silvio Berlusconi doesn't know what he's doing, or they're making fun of Mahmoud Ahmadinejad as Hitler. I mean, like, who cares? I mean, that just looks juvenile. I mean, who cares?
What you're hearing from him is baby talk.
Mr. President, there is a war going on in this country, and I'm not referring to the war in Iraq or the war in Afghanistan. I'm talking about a war being waged by some of the wealthiest and most powerful people in this country against the working families of the United States of America, against the disappearing and shrinking middle class of our country. The reality is that many of the nation's billionaires are on the warpath. They want more, more, more. Their greed has no end, and apparently there is very little concern for our country or for the people of this country if it gets in the way of the accumulation of more and more wealth and more power.
Yeah, can it possibly be true? It's a worry, isn't it, that the rest of the world's media is doing such a bad job that a little group of activists is able to release more of that type of information than the rest of the world press combined. Yeah, well, there's a question as to what sort of information is important in the world, what sort of information can achieve reform. And there's a lot of information. So information that organizations are spending economic effort into concealing, that's a really good signal that when the information gets out, there's a hope of it doing some good. Because the organizations that know it best, that know it from the inside out, are spending work to conceal it. And that's what we've found in practice, and that's what the history of journalism is.
It is a red herring to suggest that lives have been put in danger. The only lives that have been put in danger are the troops that we sent over to Iraq and Afghanistan under false pretenses. Of course he's a journalist, according to the definition that I just listed here. He's making information available to the American people and others who are, frankly, malnourished on what I call the fawning corporate media, who act more as stenographers than they do as journalists.
That one of the major reasons for government secrecy is to protect the government from its own population.
What he's doing and what his group is doing is going to save lives.
He should be free. He should not be threatened with unfair prosecutions, and he shouldn't be threatened with potential assassination, and he shouldn't be called a terrorist either.
It's so symbolic of us just not standing up and saying enough is enough.
Please welcome to sing the Australian national anthem, John Barker.
Chance to turn the pages over. Sing with me, come on. We can write what we want to write. We gotta make it before we get much older.
really owe a debt to Mr. Assange and to Wikileaks for turning on a big spotlight on those people who brought about, first of all, this war that we've been in for the better part of this decade. These people concocted lies, and they committed crimes in order to send our young men and women off to war.
We're all someone's daughter. We're all someone's son. Hello, people look at each other. Down the barrel of a sit in silence. You're not gonna live with fear.